Hello everybody, this is Kavya Paiti from the Department of Biology. I am welcoming you to the introductory class of Biology. That means in this class we will be discussing about the syllabus of Biology, what you will be studying for first year PUC. When it comes to the syllabus, here the chapters will come under 5 different units. So here first chapter or first unit will be Unit 1, that is Diversity in Living World. This unit includes 4 different chapters and the weightage of this particular unit is 11 marks. Now we will just discuss about the chapters involved in the first unit. The first chapter will be the living world. In this chapter we will be studying about taxonomy, classification, how you will classify a single organism into different kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus and finally species. You will be studying different forms of taxonomic aids and in detail you will be discussing about or you will be studying in particular about 4 different forms of organisms and their classification along with their scientific name. That is involved in the first chapter, living world. Next chapter which comes under the same unit is the biological classification. When it comes to biological classification, in this chapter you will be discussing about different scientists who have put forward different forms of classification. Initially 2 kingdom, 3 kingdom, 4 kingdom and now finally it is 5 kingdom system. In this 5 kingdom system you will be studying about different types, different forms, different genuses along with certain forms of examples. All will come under biological classification. Next one, in the same unit you will be studying 3rd chapter, that is plant kingdom. In plant kingdom you will be studying about different type of or 5 different types of division, that is algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and finally angiosperms. All 5 forms you will be studying and different types which are involved in 5 different divisions you will be studying along with particular examples. Especially in angiosperms you will be studying about life cycle of angiosperms. Apart from this one, you will also be studying alternation in generation, which includes 3 different forms: haplontic, diplontic and haplodiplontic. These are the 3 different forms which you will be studying in plant kingdom. Next, coming to animal kingdom. In animal kingdom, you will be studying about different types of phylum, different classes involved in it, different examples involved in it and the characters of each phylum as well as class. So, in detail you will be studying about the particular characters which are restricted to only one type of phylum or only one type of class. So, you can identify how from a smaller organism until a larger organism can be classified. All the 4 chapters are interconnected and thus it is included in the first unit, that is diversity in living world. Next, second unit is structural organization in plants and animals and the weightage of whole this unit is 10 marks. In second unit, structural organization of plants and animals, it includes 3 different chapters. Out of 3 different chapters, here the first chapter will be morphology in flowering plants. So, in this particular chapter, you will be learning about morphology, that is the presence of root, types of root, stem, types of stem, how they help in growth, how they help in storage, types of leaves, inflorescence, thalamus, everything in detail. That is only the external structure of the plant you will be studying in detail in this particular chapter, that is morphology in flowering plants. That is the first chapter in this second unit. Next, second chapter, that will be chapter number 6. So, it will be anatomy in flowering plants or anatomy of flowering plants. Morphology means studying about the external features, where anatomy means it will be studying about the internal structure. So, internal structure we know it contains of xylem, phloem, metaxylem, metaploium, all this, all in details along with the diagrams, along with the TS section, along with the lateral section of leaf, stem, dicot leaf, stem, root, monocot root, stem and leaf. In detail you will be studying about all the anatomical structures which come under this chapter, that is anatomy of flowering plants. And the last chapter, that is chapter number 7 of this unit, will be structural organization in animals. In case of this particular chapter, you will be studying here about particular tissues, that will be epithelial, muscular, connective, nervous. All the tissues along with their cells, their structure, you will be studying in this particular unit, along with which you will be studying the morphology and anatomy of 3 different organisms, that will be earthworm, cockroach as well as frog. So, in together the second unit gives a proper idea about the morphology and anatomy of both animals as well as plants. Next, unit 3rd. Here it includes cell, the structure and function. Cell, structure and function is the name of the unit, which will be carrying or which will be having a weightage of 11 marks. And the 3rd unit, it includes 3 different chapters. The first chapter coming under 3rd unit, that will be cell, the unit of life. So, what does this chapter include? This chapter includes, it contains of, or you will be studying about 2 different or 2 major cells. We will be differentiating them like plant cell and animal cell, along with which you will be studying the internal structure or internal organelle structure, that is a mitochondria, Golgi complex, chromosomes, nucleus, nucleolus, plastids, which are restricted to plant cells. And when it comes to animal cells, you will be studying here about, that is formation of cell division. You will be learning here about how the spindle fibers are produced. Everything will be studied under this particular chapter. You can differentiate a plant cell which is having plastids as well as chloroplast, where in case of animal cell, these lack the cell wall what is present in the plant cell. Shade the plant cell as well as the animal cell. Next, the next chapter which comes under the same unit, that will be biomolecules. So, the second chapter is biomolecules. In this biomolecules chapter, you will be studying here about deeper levels of the cell, that is, we will be studying here about molecules like carbohydrates, proteins as well as lipids. They are smaller units. You will be studying carbohydrates, glucose or sugar units, proteins, amino acids, whereas lipids, fatty acid as well as glycerol. So, you will be studying the structure, you will be studying certain forms of examples, how they are bonded together with what types of bonds, glycosidic bonds, peptide bonds, etc. Plus, you will be studying here about the formation of protein structure, that is a primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary structure. In the same chapter, you will also get the idea about different types of enzymes, what is their function, how or what is the use of the enzymes, how do they help in accelerating a reaction. All these in detail you will be studying in the 3rd unit, that is the chapter biomolecules. Next, when it comes to the last chapter of this particular unit, it will be cell cycle and cell division. So, in this chapter you will be studying about 2 major types of division which takes place in our body, that will be mitosis and meiosis. Plus, in each of this division you will be studying different steps involved, that will be prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase. And same in case of meiosis also, here it will be 2 different, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2 with the same procedure like prophase 1, prophase 2, metaphase 1, metaphase 2, anaphase 1, anaphase 2, telophase 1, telophase 2. Along with which you will be studying about karyokinesis, cytokinesis, and in together you will be studying where does this division, that is mitosis or meiosis, takes place in our body. So, that is about 3 different units and the chapters involved in these 3 units. First unit is diversity in living world, which is having a weightage of 11 marks. Second unit is structural organization in plants and animals, whose weightage is 10 marks, and cell structure and function, whose weightage is of about 11 marks. So first unit contains chapter 1, 2, 3 and 4. Unit 2, it contains chapter 5, 6 and 7. Unit 3 contains 8, 9 and 10. So in together, by the end of 3 units, we will be completing 10 different chapters. Next one is unit 4. It involves plant physiology. The weightage of this unit is 18 marks. So here the first chapter involved in this particular unit, that will be transport in plants. So first chapter is transport in plants. In this chapter you will be studying about how the food as well as water gets transferred within the plant and the different experiments which are involved in this one. So xylem movement, phloem movement, transfer of water, transfer of food, apoplast, symplast, everything you will be studying in detail in the first chapter, that is transport in plants. Next chapter is mineral nutrition. In this chapter, mineral nutrition, you will be studying about different forms, that is the micronutrients as well as macronutrients. Calcium, sodium, potassium, all these components, whether they are very much necessary or very less necessary or completely damaging to the plant body. If they are in excess amount, what are the side effects, or if they are deficient, what happens to the plant body. Each mineral nutrient you will be studying in detail along with the side effects if in excess or they become deficient. That you will be studying in this particular chapter, that is mineral nutrition. Next chapter is about, that is photosynthesis in higher plants. So photosynthesis in higher plants is, you will be detailedly studying about utilization of radiant energy to convert the food or to formation, or helps in formation of food or formation of chemical energy. What is the steps involved? What are the different reactions, dark reactions, light reactions? What are all the reactions which have come together to make or to prepare the food or make the photosynthesis successful in higher plants? So that you will be studying in detail in photosynthesis in higher plants. Next one is, next chapter is respiration in higher plants. So in this chapter you will be studying how do the plant respire, what amount of carbon dioxide is liberated and oxygen is taken within the plant body to undergo this respiration process. In together, both the photosynthesis and respiration chapter are linked with each other, which involves the Krebs cycle, glycolysis, along with which the photosynthetic cycles, that is dark and light reaction, both have connection with each other. These two chapters are interconnected. And the last chapter in this particular unit, that will be plant growth and development. In this particular chapter, you will come across different forms of hormones which help in the growth and development of the plant. Maybe flowering, maybe ripening of the fruit, or maybe development of the plant, growth of the plant, etc. So different types of hormones you will be studying in the chapter, that is which come under unit plant physiology. And the last unit, that is unit 5 of particular first PUC biology syllabus, that will be human physiology, and out of all this is a very important unit whose weightage will be about 20 marks. So in this human physiology, it involves, or the first chapter will be digestion and absorption. So digestion and absorption involves digestive system, that is the human digestive system, starting from the mouth until the anus. You will be studying it in detail. You will also be studying about different types or different processes involved, different types of enzymes involved, studying about different glands which helps in digestion, along with which you will be studying about the regulation of digestion and some of the diseases which are affecting the digestive system. All these in detail you will be studying in the chapter digestion and absorption. When it comes to the next chapter, that will be breathing and exchange of gases. In this particular chapter, you will be studying about human respiratory system, how the air enters from the nasal cavity and reaches until the alveoli, how there will be exchange of gases, what is the proportion of carbon dioxide, what is the proportion of oxygen, how they bind with the RBC cells, what happens during a metabolic process, how the oxygen will be utilized by the body, and how the carbon dioxide will be released from the body. Along with which you will be studying about different types of volumes which are involved, which helps the respiration to go in a ease, and regulation of respiration, and lastly you will be studying about certain forms of disorders which affect the respiratory system. Next, third chapter will be body fluids and circulation. In this body fluids and circulation, you will be studying about circulatory system, that is the human heart, what are the chambers, structure of human heart, what are the important vessels involved, what is the function of those, and you will be studying about two concepts, that is diastole, systole, how does the heart pumps, what is double circulation, you will be learning about different forms of regulatory methods, how the heart is controlled or how there will be conduction of heart taking place, regulation of circulatory system, along with few disorders which are involved in the circulatory system. Next one will be excretory products and their elimination. So in this particular chapter you will be studying about the structure of pair of kidney, urinary bladders, how they will be functioning, the single unit that is nephron, which helps in formation of, or the process involved is ultrafiltration and helps in formation of urine, and how there will be reabsorption of water and some important minerals, how the rest of the components are flushed out from the body, along with which regulation and disorders are the two different components you will be studying in detail in this particular chapter. Next one will be locomotion and movement. In locomotion and movement you will be studying three different types of muscles. Out of that three muscles, skeletal muscles is very important, which helps in muscular movement as it is attached to the skeleton, which helps in moving your hand, leg, and you will be studying here what happens or what are the components or what are the ions which are exchanged during movement of hands as well as legs. We will also be studying in detail about the human skeletal system, how many number of bones are involved, what is the function of each bone, what are the types of joints involved, because of which one you can easily move your skeleton as well as your body along with the skeletal muscles which are attached to the skeleton. Regulation of these muscles as well as activity of the muscles and few of the disorders which involve or which are involved in this particular chapter. Next is neural control, or next chapter is neural control and coordination. In this neural control and coordination you will be studying about unipolar, bipolar and multipolar neurons, their structure, their location and what is their function. Again, nerve impulse conduction you will be studying, synaptic knob, that is the end of or nerve ending what we call, how the functions takes place or how there will be passing of the signals from one nervous system to another nervous system. Regulation you will be studying and few of the disorders will be studied in detail in this particular chapter. And the last chapter will be chemical control and coordination. In chemical control and coordination you will be coming across 10 different types of endocrine organs and their hormones released, these hormones function and how they affect our body and what is the function carried out by these different hormones. Their regulation process will be studied in detail. So in together all these chapters come under human physiology, whereas in plant physiology it involves chapter number 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15, and in human physiology it involves 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20, 21 and 22nd. All these chapters come under human physiology. So that is a detailed explanation for the chapters involved in first year PU syllabus. Once again we will discuss about the unit name as well as the weightage it carries, where the unit 1 will be diversity in living world with 11 mark as weightage. Second unit is structural organization in plants and animals with 10 marks weightage. Unit 3, cell structure and function with 11 mark as weightage. Unit 4, plant physiology, 18 marks as weightage. And unit 5, that is human physiology, which is one of the biggest unit, as well as the weightage is also very much more, which is about 20 marks weightage. So this is about the detailed syllabus, that is the biology syllabus for your first year PUC. Thank you.